Ladies and gentlemen, imagine this: you've hit rock bottom. You feel like you've been torn apart, left to pick up the pieces of a life you once knew. Every step forward feels like a battle, and every day is a challenge to just hold it together. You're tired, emotionally drained, and it seems like the weight of the world is too much to carry. You might even think that this is the end of your story. But I'm here to tell you that when you feel broken, you're actually standing at the threshold of a new beginning. You see, no matter how bad it looks right now, no matter how difficult the road seems, this is not the end of your journey, it's just a chapter. And that chapter is shaping you into a stronger version of yourself. I need you to listen up right now, because what I'm about to share could be the game changer you need to hear. The truth is, feeling broken doesn't mean you're done. It means you're on your way to something greater. Don't skip ahead. Watch this entire message. If you feel like life has knocked you down and you're struggling to stand back up, you're in the right place. Keep listening, because the very thing that you think is destroying you may actually be preparing you for something bigger than you ever imagined. There are moments in life when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, you feel broken, like the world is caving in on you, and you're not sure how much more you can take. We've all been there. You lose something, whether it's a job, a relationship, a dream you've been chasing, or maybe it's something within you, like your confidence or your will to keep going. But here's the thing you need to understand right now: when you feel broken, that's just the beginning. That's not the end. The beginning of healing, the beginning of rebuilding yourself, is found in that very place. Let me tell you something. Being broken doesn't make you weak. Far from it. It's in those moments of brokenness that you learn your true strength. Think about it. Have you ever seen a diamond in its raw form? It's not much to look at. But when it's put under pressure, when it's broken down, it comes out on the other side as one of the most precious things on earth. And that's what's happening to you. Life is putting you under pressure to shape you, to mold you, to create something stronger and more valuable. But you have to hold on. You have to trust that something greater is coming from this struggle. Now, I want you to hear me clearly. Your brokenness does not define who you are. This moment you're going through, this pain you're feeling, is just a moment in time. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're less than. It means you're human. And being human means you're going to face challenges, you're going to face pain. But it doesn't make you any less worthy of love, success, and peace. You are still valuable and you are still capable. This brokenness is not the end of your story. It's just a part of your journey. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you feel like you've given everything you've got and you don't know how much more you can give. But I need you to do something for me. I need you to look at your situation with a different perspective. When you feel broken, that's when you're actually being prepared for your breakthrough. That's when you're growing, whether you can see it or not. The struggle is shaping you, making you stronger, making you more resilient, teaching you things that you couldn't learn when everything was going smoothly. Don't waste this opportunity. There is power in this pain. You are not alone. I don't care how isolated you feel right now, how much it seems like no one understands. There are millions of people going through the same thing. It's a part of life. And the most beautiful thing about pain is that it connects us. When you share your struggles, when you open up about your brokenness, that's when you begin to heal. That's when others can reach out to support you, to remind you that you're not in this alone. Now, listen to me closely. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. It takes time. And that's okay. Each day you get up, each day you decide to keep going. That's progress. Healing is one step at a time. And the good news is that even though it feels hard right now, each step is moving you closer to peace, closer to wholeness. So don't you dare give up when you feel broken. Don't you dare quit. You're not finished. You're being remade. Trust the process. Trust that this pain has a purpose and that you are coming out of it stronger, wiser, and ready for what's next. You've got this. Keep going. When you're feeling broken, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge the pain. Too often we try to push it down, ignore it, or distract ourselves from it. We think if we just keep moving forward, the pain will eventually disappear on its own. But let me tell you something, ignoring your feelings doesn't make them go away. In fact, it can make things worse. When you try to bottle up your emotions, they build up inside of you and they start affecting every area of your life. It's like trying to keep a lid on a boiling pot. You can only hold it in for so long before it overflows. Acknowledge the pain you're feeling. Don't be afraid of it. Don't try to hide from it. Allow yourself the space to grieve, to feel hurt, to process what's going on. It's okay to be upset, to feel lost, or to feel like things are falling apart. These emotions are part of the human experience. Everyone goes through them, whether they show it or not. There's no shame in feeling broken, because that's a natural part of life. It doesn't mean you're weak or incapable. It means you're alive and you're experiencing what it means to live. When you give yourself permission to feel, that's when you start the healing process. You see, pain is a powerful teacher. It's uncomfortable, sure, but it forces us to confront what's not working in our lives. It forces us to pay attention to the areas where we need growth, the parts of ourselves that need healing. It's in that moment of pain that we can make the choice to evolve, to grow, to come out stronger on the other side. When you allow yourself to feel broken, you give yourself the opportunity to rebuild. You start by being honest with yourself. If you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, be angry. Don't hold it in. Express what you're going through, even if it's just to yourself. Speak it out, write it down, or talk to someone you trust. The moment you give yourself the freedom to feel, you start breaking the chains that are holding you back. You stop being a prisoner to your emotions and start taking control of them. It's essential to remember that acknowledging your pain doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're giving yourself the permission to heal. You're not ignoring your emotions. You're not pretending everything is okay when it's not. You're choosing to face it head on, and that's when the real strength comes in. And trust me, when you do this, when you truly acknowledge what you're feeling, it opens the door for you to take the next step. You're not stuck in that pain forever. Acknowledging it is just the beginning of the process. It's the first step toward understanding healing and ultimately moving forward. So don't be afraid of the pain. Embrace it. Acknowledge it. Let it teach you, because when you do, you will come out of this stronger than ever before. When you feel broken, it's crucial to remember that your brokenness does not define who you are. Far too often, we fall into the trap of thinking that the challenges, setbacks, or pain we are facing define our worth. When we go through difficult moments, it can feel like those moments are all that we are. But let me tell you something powerful: your circumstances, your mistakes, your failures, they don't define you. They are simply chapters in your story, not the whole book. You see, life is full of highs and lows. There are moments when things are going well, and then there are times when everything seems to fall apart. But just because things are falling apart doesn't mean you are. Just because you're facing challenges doesn't mean you are a failure. You are so much more than the situation you're in right now. You are more than the job you lost, the relationships that didn't work out, or the mistakes you've made. Those things don't determine your value. They just happen to be part of your journey. Your true worth comes from who you are at your core, not from what happens to you in the moment. In those times when you feel broken, it's easy to lose sight of this. You start to think, this is it. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to make it. But I need you to stop right there. The fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still fighting means that you are resilient. You may feel broken, but you're not defeated. You're simply going through a process of growth and change. You are in the middle of a transformation, even if it's hard to see it right now. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you won't succeed. It doesn't mean you're any less valuable or capable. This is the key. Your brokenness doesn't define you. What defines you is your ability to keep going. It's your strength to rise even when it seems impossible. It's your courage to keep moving forward when all you want to do is give up. That's the power within you. The challenges you face are simply opportunities for growth, for building resilience, and for becoming a better version of yourself. You are constantly evolving, constantly learning, and even in your darkest moments, you are growing stronger. You have been through tough times before and you've come out on the other side. The pain you feel now won't last forever. This is just a phase, a season of life. It's temporary. But the strength you develop in this season, the lessons you learn, will stay with you forever. So when you feel broken, don't let it define who you are. You are more than your circumstances. You are more than your mistakes. You are worthy of love, success, and happiness. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come. Hold on to that truth. It's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going, and you are going somewhere incredible. When you're feeling broken, it's vital to recognize that this moment does not last forever. It can feel like you are stuck in a perpetual state of hurt, confusion, or despair, but you need to remind yourself that the pain you feel is not permanent. Nothing in life is, and that includes your struggles. Time has a way of moving forward, whether you realize it or not. The difficulty you're facing right now is simply a part of the bigger picture, a small chapter in the ongoing story of your life. You are not trapped, you are simply in a phase, and like all phases, this too will pass. Now, I'm not saying it will be easy or that the road will be quick. Healing, growth, and recovery take time. It's going to require patience, persistence, and strength you may not even know you have. But trust me when I tell you this, your ability to keep going, to endure the tough times, will eventually lead you to a place where you're stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Just like a storm doesn't last forever, neither does your pain. So many of us get caught up in thinking that the current struggle is the end of the story, but it's not. In fact, sometimes those moments of brokenness are the very thing that sets you up for your greatest transformation. What you need to understand is that it's okay to not feel okay. You are allowed to hurt, to cry, and to feel vulnerable. But while you do that, remind yourself that this feeling is temporary. It's okay to rest, to take a step back, and to heal. But don't mistake resting for quitting. Rest is necessary for recovery, but quitting is permanent. And you are not a quitter. You may feel like giving up, and that's perfectly normal. But giving up will only keep you from discovering the strength and resilience you have deep inside you. It's okay to take a break, but don't stop. Don't let the brokenness define you. Don't let it keep you stuck in that space longer than you need to be. You have a choice. You can choose to stay broken, or you can choose to rise. Even in the toughest times, you have the power to decide how you move forward. You can let the pain weigh you down, or you can use it as fuel to propel you toward better days. The choice is yours. When you accept that the pain you feel today will not last forever, you free yourself to focus on what comes next. And what comes next could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for, the success you've been working for, or the peace you've been seeking. But none of that will happen if you stay stuck in the feeling of brokenness. Remember, time is moving forward, and so are you. The pain you feel now is an opportunity for growth, for change, and for healing. You are not alone in this. You are not the first person to feel broken, and you won't be the last. But if you keep going, if you keep fighting, you will come out on the other side stronger than you ever thought possible. This moment of brokenness will soon be a memory, and one day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. So don't give up, don't give in, and don't let this season of pain define who you are. You are greater than this moment, and you will rise above it. When you feel broken, it's important to remember that growth often comes from the most difficult experiences. As painful as it may seem right now, your brokenness is not just a sign of weakness or failure. It's actually a powerful opportunity for transformation. Life's most profound lessons often emerge in the midst of our greatest struggles. The discomfort you're experiencing right now can serve as a catalyst for profound change and growth. Think about it, diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. Gold is refined through intense heat. The most resilient people you've ever met didn't become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they faced adversity, and instead of being defeated by it, they chose to grow through it. When you're feeling broken, you are being shaped in ways that you might not even be able to recognize right now. It may be hard to see through the pain, but trust me, what you're going through is preparing you for something greater. We often avoid pain because it's uncomfortable. We try to run from it, ignore it or mask it, but avoiding pain only prolongs the healing process. Pain is an essential part of life. It's how we learn, how we grow, and how we evolve. Without it, we wouldn't appreciate the good times. Without hardship, we wouldn't know what strength feels like. So instead of seeing your brokenness as something to avoid or feel ashamed of, see it as an opportunity to learn. Ask yourself what this pain is teaching you. Is it showing you a part of yourself that needs healing? Is it helping you discover new strengths you never knew you had? Sometimes it's in our most broken moments that we are forced to look within and question who we really are. That's when we find out what we're made of. You can't really know how strong you are until life has tested you. You can't truly appreciate the light until you've experienced the darkness. So while it's easy to get caught up in the feeling of brokenness and let it define you, it's crucial to shift your mindset. Recognize that this pain, this struggle, this feeling of being broken is not your end, it's just a part of your journey. The power of your brokenness is that it makes you dig deep and find parts of yourself that you might have otherwise never discovered. It forces you to confront what's been holding you back, what's been keeping you stuck, or what's been buried deep inside. And once you confront those things, you begin to heal. You begin to understand yourself in ways you never did before. You start to build strength, resilience, and wisdom. But growth doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to face your fears, to step into discomfort, and to accept that growth often comes with pain. The brokenness you're feeling now is just part of the process. It's the healing, the growth, the transformation, it's all on the other side. But you can't get to that point without embracing the struggle, without letting the pain push you forward instead of holding you back. So take a deep breath. It's okay to feel broken. It's okay to struggle. But remember, this moment is not the end. It's just the beginning of something powerful. Embrace the growth that's coming out of your pain. Trust the process. Keep moving forward. And know that the strength, resilience, and wisdom you're gaining today will carry you through tomorrow. When you feel broken, it's crucial to understand that being broken doesn't mean you're beyond repair. So often, we view our pain, our flaws, and our imperfections as things that make us unworthy, as though they define who we are. But that's not the truth. Being broken doesn't make you less valuable, it makes you human. We all go through difficult times, we all face challenges that push us to our limits. But just because you're in a tough spot doesn't mean you're stuck there. It doesn't mean you can't recover, rebuild, and come back even stronger than before. The key to overcoming brokenness is realizing that you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond to it. You see, life isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about how we choose to handle it. It's easy to let the weight of our struggles define us. We can easily fall into the trap of thinking that we're failures because we're struggling or because things didn't go as planned. But the reality is, everyone faces hardships at some point. And those hardships don't define us, they shape us. What's truly important is how we rise from those hardships, how we use the lessons learned from the pain to push forward. It's about building resilience, not because you never face challenges, but because you face them head on and keep moving forward. When you're broken, it can feel like the whole world is crumbling around you, and you may start to wonder how you're going to get back on your feet. But the truth is, the fact that you're still standing, the fact that you're still breathing means you haven't given up yet. That's the most important thing. You might not feel like it, but the very act of surviving, of taking another step, means that you're already on your way to healing. It's in those moments of brokenness that you discover what you're truly made of. Your inner strength doesn't show up in the good times. It shows up when life knocks you down, when you feel like giving up. That's when your true character is revealed. And here's something even more powerful. Brokenness opens the door to vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it's one of the greatest strengths you can possess. When you're broken, you become more in touch with your emotions, your thoughts, and your desires. You begin to realize that asking for help, showing your struggles, and allowing others to see your vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you authentic. It opens the door for deeper connections with others and allows you to rebuild your life in a way that is more aligned with who you truly are. It's in that brokenness that you learn to embrace your imperfections and realize that they don't take away from your worth, they add to your story. The journey to healing may not be a straight path. There will be ups and downs. Some days will feel harder than others, and it might seem like progress is slow. But as long as you keep going, as long as you don't give up, you're making progress. You are stronger than you think. Your brokenness is not your final destination. It's just a part of your journey. And each step you take toward healing, each day you choose to keep going, brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. So don't let brokenness define you. Let it refine you. Let it make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Because the truth is, your greatest strength often comes from the very things that once seemed to break you. Keep moving forward because your best days are still ahead of you. When you feel broken, the world can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to think that everything is falling apart beyond repair. But what you need to understand is that brokenness is not a final destination. It's a temporary state, one that can actually lead to the greatest growth of your life. Being broken doesn't mean you are unworthy or defeated. It means you are being remade, reshaped, and refined. Life has a way of breaking us down to build us up stronger than before. The key is to not let brokenness become your identity, but rather to see it as the beginning of something new, a stepping stone toward a better version of yourself. When we're broken, it's easy to want to escape the pain. We search for distractions, for ways to numb the hurt. But healing can only begin when we face the pain head on, when we allow ourselves to feel everything that comes with being broken. It's in those moments of feeling completely shattered that we often uncover the deepest parts of ourselves, the parts that were hidden, the parts that were neglected, and the parts that were longing to be healed. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. The more you go through, the more you discover about who you are, what you need, and where you need to grow. It's painful, yes, but it's also necessary for real transformation. Being broken is also an opportunity for you to reevaluate your life, to ask yourself the tough questions that often get pushed aside in the hustle and bustle of everyday living. What do you truly want out of life? What are your dreams? What are the things that you've been neglecting about yourself? Brokenness has a way of making you pause, of making you reflect on your purpose, your direction, and the way you've been living. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that there is more to life than just getting by. You have the power to change your trajectory, to rebuild what's been broken, and to create a life that is more aligned with who you are meant to be. It's also important to recognize that brokenness doesn't have to be a solitary journey. Many people struggle with feeling like they're the only ones going through tough times. But the truth is, everyone experiences some form of brokenness at some point in their lives. You are not alone in this. Reaching out to others for support, sharing your feelings, and letting others in can be incredibly healing. We're not meant to go through life's challenges by ourselves. Community, whether it's friends, family, or even professional support, can provide the strength and encouragement you need to keep going. You don't have to heal alone, and you don't have to be ashamed of needing help. At times, it may seem like things are never going to get better. You may wonder if you'll ever feel whole again, if the pain will ever subside. But remember, time heals. It may take time, but if you trust the process, if you continue to work on yourself and embrace the lessons that brokenness brings, you will come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more whole than before. It's in the rebuilding process that we often discover our true power. You are not defined by your brokenness. You are defined by your ability to rise from it, to rebuild, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Keep pushing forward. This moment of brokenness is not the end, it's the beginning of something new and powerful.